Concise history of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Chapter 2.5. Zayd bin Harithah radiyallahu anhu. Zayd bin Harithah was from Yemen. His parents belonged to two different tribes. These two tribes had severe differences. One time, Zayd's mother took him to her parents. His tribe kidnapped him as a child to take revenge from the other tribe and sold him as a slave in Mecca. Khadija radiyallahu anha asked her nephew Hakim bin Hizam to buy her a slave. He bought Zayd. Hence, Zayd became slave of Khadija. When Khadija married the Prophet ﷺ, she gave Zayd as a gift to the Prophet. Zayd was the first to believe in the Prophet ﷺ among the slaves. During Hajj, some visitors of Mecca from Yemen came across a slave with Arabic background. After more interaction with him, they discovered that it was Zayd who was missing from Yemen. On their return back home, they informed Zayd's father about it. Zayd's father and paternal uncle came to Mecca with as much money as they could gather to buy their son from the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet said to them, I leave the choice with Zayd. If he chooses to go with you, I shall let him go with you without taking any money from you. However, if he chooses to stay here, I cannot refuse him. Then the Prophet ﷺ called Zayd and said to him, It is up to you to choose the parents or me. Zayd said in the presence of his father and paternal uncle, I cannot choose anybody over and above you. This clearly indicates the character and manners of the Prophet ﷺ even before his prophethood. Nobody ever chooses others over and above his own parents. After hearing this from Zayd, the Prophet ﷺ took Zayd to Hatim of Baitullah and announced, I free Zayd today and make him my son. He was now called Zayd bin Muhammad. In this way, Zayd's father was fully satisfied since his son was no more a slave and he enjoyed a good status among the Quraysh. Abdullah bin Umar said, We knew him by name Zayd bin Muhammad till Allah sent in Quran this verse, Uduhum li abaihim huwa aqsatum indallah. Call the adopted sons by their names of their fathers. This is more just with Allah. After this guidance from Allah, he was called Zayd bin Harithah. Zayd married Zainab bin Jahsh radiyallahu anha, but later he divorced her. Zayd bin Harithah married Ayman or Baraka and they had a son Usama. This son was born in the house of the Prophet ﷺ. Whenever the companions of the Prophet needed anything from the Prophet, they always requested it through Usama, since they knew that Prophet ﷺ never refused anything requested by Usama. It is noteworthy that Prophet ﷺ sent Zayd for at least 10 battles and made him in charge in each case. The Prophet ﷺ never made anybody else in charge in the battle when Zayd was there. The highest honor of Zayd is that he is the only companion mentioned by name in Quran by Allah. It will be recited till day of judgment. Zayd was in charge of Battle of Mu'tah and he became martyr there. Some scholars say that if Zayd was alive after the Prophet ﷺ, he would have been the first caliph. During the last days of Prophet ﷺ, he sent an army against Romans under Usama. This army was held up due to the illness of the Prophet ﷺ. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu sent this army to Iran after the death of the Prophet ﷺ. Some people suggested to replace Usama as in charge of army. Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu said, Who am I to change someone whom the Prophet ﷺ has appointed? One time, Abdullah bin Umar radiyallahu anhu complained to his father Umar radiyallahu anhu during his caliphate. He complained, why Usama is getting more financial benefit than me? Umar said, since the Prophet ﷺ loved Usama more than you, and the Prophet loved Usama's father more than your father. Subhanallah. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم.